So it's finally here, folks. It's finally bloody here. The countdown to the 2022 World Cup in Qatar begins right here. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction show. Today we take a look at, of course, the European World Cup qualifying campaign. It begins right here, right now. And today we're going to be looking at matchday number 1, part 1. And we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, stop what you're doing, squat what you're doing, and smash your subscribe button to get you hanging out with all things World Cup related, Blab and Rose related, well, football related. We're going to know here on the Warruski. That's right, folks, of course. Yes, over the next few days we'll be focusing pure and simple on, of course, World Cup qualifying campaign. Will your nation get off to a fantastic start, or will they have a stodgy start to the campaign? And it could even cost a man his job, especially if you're already in the Euros. It could be dramatic effects for your nation moving forward. And we'll talk all about that, of course, as we get ready for match number 1, part 1. And tomorrow we'll take a look at match number 1.2. And then, of course, later on, once those games have been completed, we'll revisit those. And, of course, kick it on forward to match day number 2. So just the best way to do it is, of course, smash your subscribe, smash the little bell so you don't miss a beat. Now, if you are new to the channel, I need you to stop right there, boys and girls. That's right. Take a little note right here, right now. We are going to be starting a brand new prediction league with brand new rules. That's right. Usually, I'd ask you to stick your predictions down in the comment section, and you feel free to do just that. But of course, they will not be counted. They will not be revisited in regards to the prediction league tournament itself. I may take a look at them and stuff like that. So feel free to put your predictions in the old comment section. But what you need to do if you want to enter the prediction league for the World Cup qualifying campaign is you got to go to a third part. Basically, you got to hit the link, which is in the description. I'll be continually on the screen in just a second. So without further ado, I'll tell you what I'm talking about. So let's jump in the deep end, of course, and take a little look at the match. That will take place in just a second. But before all that, let's have a little look at, of course, we're starting off here, right now, squeaky, cleaky, clean, with all these nations with 100% records so far. But that'll all change. Let's take a look at some of those nations that make up Group A, of course, Azerbaijan, Luxembourg, Portugal, Ireland, and Serbia. You would think it's probably a 2 to 3 horse race. Portugal should fancy their chances on this one. Ireland and Serbia will be duking out for the runners-up spot. Now, speaking of the runners-up spot, the only guaranteed qualifiers for the World Cup will be the group winners. The runners-up will then go into sort of a knockout, sort of playoff type of deal, which may involve teams from the Nations League. But we don't really want to go into that because it's a bit of a rat's nest. So just by the by on that one. So into Group B, we have Georgia, Greece, Kosovo, Spain, and Sweden, and of course the returning Zlatan, which will give Sweden a bit more of a powerful edge at the top of the field. Of course, hopefully get them the goals that will get them through to Qatar in 2022. But you fancy Spain to go through comfortably here with Sweden. Maybe Greece and Kosovo duking it out for the runners-up spot. Into Group C, we have Switzerland in there, alongside Italy, Lithuania, Northern Ireland, and Bulgaria. Now, this, again, should be favoured with the seeds being Italy. And then you look at Switzerland, Bulgaria, and Northern Ireland duking out for the second spot there. It's not guaranteed. You'd fancy maybe Switzerland, but of course, it's anybody's guess. Into Group D, we have, of course, Bosnia, Finland, France, of course, the World Cup winners, Kazakhstan, and Ukraine. Again, you'd fancy France on this one. Ukraine to come into it, of course, second place, Bosnia, and then maybe Finland in that discussion as well. Kazakhstan can be awkward as well to make a difficult Group D. Into Group E, we've got Belgium in there, of course, alongside Belarus, Czech Republic, Estonia, and the Wales, of course. We do expect Belgium to come through comfortably as well, and maybe Wales, Czech Republic, duking it out for that second spot. Into Group F, Austria, Denmark, Faroes, Israel, Moldova, and Scotland. Probably the most evenly spread group here. With Denmark, probably your fancy bet. Austria also could run them close. And of course, if Scotland on their day, they could also get themselves off to a fantastic start. Maybe they could also come out in Group winners. We'll have to see. Group G sees Gibraltar, Latvia, Montenegro, Netherlands, Norway, and Turkey. Difficult group right here. You've got 3 nations that realistically have a good chance to get themselves through. Netherlands, depending on what Netherlands show up, they should fancy their chances to go through as group winners. But of course, Norway have got the golden generation right now, and Turkey, especially when fans are back, is always a difficult place to go. And don't rule out Montenegro for causing an upset or two along the way. Group H sees Croatia, Cyprus, Malta, Russia, Slovakia, and Slovenia. A bit of an Eastern Bloc sort of group here out in Group H, with of course Cyprus and Malta offering some Mediterranean flair. But of course, you'd think Croatia alongside Russia duking out for the top honours with Slovakia and Slovenia also maybe causing some upsets along the way. Into Group I, we have England's group with a couple of minnows. I do expect them to run riot over Andorra and San Marino, but they've got difficult matches up against Poland and Hungary and maybe even Albania to cause them a little bit of issues, especially on the away ties. And then wrapping up Group J, we have Germany, of course, alongside Armenia, Iceland, Liechtenstein, North Macedonia and Romania. You'd expect Germany to run right through this group with Iceland and Romania providing the major opposition, North Macedonia and Armenia duking it out for the remaining spots, with of course Liechtenstein being of course the chief whipping boys. So here we go, boys and girls, here we go. Of course, the matches for of match number 1, part 1. And at the top of the screen there, you can see the link to go to if you want to participate in the Prediction League. You get over there, it's free to enter. It's nice and simple as well, and it'll add all the results together, and it'll make the matter easy for me on the other end. That's all the problem is it's very much time consuming the other way, and I want to get through these videos quick and fast, and I've got lots of other content I want to work on as well. So hopefully this will be the platform for future prediction videos from next season. Of course, this season right here, right now, we're going to continue with the style that we've been doing it, the old-fashioned, horrible way, which is very time-consuming. But this, I'm hoping, will speed up the process. 100% free. It's just you click on the link, you go to a Google form, you submit your picks, who you think is going to win, press go, the results come to me, and instantly I can knock up a leaderboard, I can knock up all these other kind of stuff. So it does make matters 100% better for me, and hopefully it doesn't cause too much problems. Again, feel free to put your predictions in the comment section if you want, just to let everybody know what you're doing, of course, but they will not be entered in the Prediction League. The only way to enter it is through the links, and those links will change, so you can't just go into that link all the time for the rest of the videos. It's just for match day number 1, that one. So match day number 2 will be a slightly different link. Make sure you come and check it out. But anyway, let's jump in the deep end, of course, and take a look at the matches that will take place on Wednesday, the 24th of March. So kicking us all off out in Group A, will be Portugal taking on, of course, Azerbaijan. Now, these two nations have played each other 4 times, according to my knowledge, in recent succession, going all the way back to 2006. It's actually been 4 wins on the spin for Portugal, including a 3-0 win last round. It was, this match was held in Portugal back in, of course, September 2012. Sylvester Valverde on the score sheet held a Postiga, and Bruno Alves on the score sheet, of course, back in the day. That's back in 2012. So, yeah, comfortable anticipation for Portugal to open up their campaign with a win. Azerbaijan come into this losing their 6 of the last 7 matches in the World Cup qualifying, so it stretches back a bit. But heading into this, of course, Portugal just on the back of 1 defeat at the past 6 games. That 1 defeat was against France all the way back in November 2020. As for Azerbaijan, drawing the last 4. As for the bookies odds on this one, we have 33 to 1 for Portugal. They are your 33 to 1 on for Portugal. Red hot favourite. 70 to 1 is your draw. 71 is your long shot. That is Azerbaijan. So it's anybody, you're going to be batshit crazy if you're going to go with anything but a Portugal win. And I've gone with that Portugal win with a 3-0 win to open up the campaign for them. Next up, of course, we have Serbia up against Ireland in the same group. That is Group A. See if they can get themselves back off to a fantastic start. Of course, this is probably the most difficult game, almost evenly matched game, I would say, between these two sides, of course, and they must win it to really give themselves a good old boost for their promotion campaign. Of course, played each other 5 times in the past. 2 wins for Serbia, 3 draws, and nothing for Ireland. Last time they played each other in Serbia, though, was back in 2016 in the World Cup qualifying campaign as well for Russia. There was a 2-2 draw with Filip Kostic, Dusan Tadic as well on the score sheet, with Jeff Hendrick and Darren Murphy on the score sheet for Ireland. Of course, heading into this, though, Ireland on the back of a 5-game losing run in all competitions. In fact, in all competitions, including friendlies, losing to the likes of Finland, England, and Wales. As for Serbia, they came into this on the back of a 2-game winning or an unbeaten run, beating Russia last round in November in the Nations League, and also drawing with Hungary. As for the bookies odds on this one, what do we have on the bookies odds? We have, I'm trying to find it, it's 5 to 4 on for Serbia. There are the favourites, 11 to 5 is your draw. 80 to 5 is your Republic of Ireland on this one. To be honest with you, this one's tight, very, very tight, but I think I'm going to go with Serbia on this one with a 2-1 win, especially at home. Kicking on further, though, into the next round of matches is Finland, who currently coming out of Group D, and they'll be taking, of course, Bosnia-Herzegovina. Difficult one, this one, to start their campaign, of course. Played each other 3 times in the past. 1 win for Finland, 2 for Bosnia-Herzegovina, and no draws. Of course, Bosnia coming into this, scoring at least 2 goals in the last 4 matches in the World Cup qualifying, though. However, the last time around that these two sides played each other in Finland was a 2-0 win for Finland back in, of course, the Euro. What is this? It's the European Championships itself, I think. Is that right? Back in 2019? I don't even know about that. I think it must be qualifying. It must be the qualifying campaign for the Euros. That is correct. 2-0 win it was back in, of course, June. Goal scores Timo Pukki with a brace, giving Finland the W. Of course, Finland coming to this losing once in the past 5 times. Of course, that one loss was against Wales in the Nations League. Meanwhile, Bosnia-Herzegovina coming onto this on the back of a 4-game losing run, losing to Poland, Iran in the friendly, of course, Netherlands and Italy. Again, again, they did have a really difficult Nations League group. I think they were in the top tier alongside some of the juggernauts as well. Look at the bookies odds on this one then, shall we? We have, where are you, Finland? They are 31-20, basically 3-2 for the victory for them. 2-1 is your draw, 15-8 is your Bosnia-Herzegovina on this one. Tight one, this one. I really don't know which way it's going to go, but I'm going to go with a draw. That's right, point split right down the middle to get themselves off to a fantastic start. Again, if you want to get your picks in, and you want to do the prediction league, get up there into that link. And again, it's also in the description down below. It might not be the same link as it is up there. It might be a shortened, like the actual official Google form link. But anyway, regardless, get in there, get your picks in, of course. Next up, of course, we have, what do we have? We have France, of course, World Cup holders, taking, of course, Ukraine. Gone are the days when the World Cup winners automatically qualify. But anyway, they played Ukraine the last 6 occasions, 4 wins for them, 1 win for Ukraine and 1 draw. Last round in France was a 7-1 win for France back in, of course, October 2020. Giroud with a couple of goals there. Vitaly Malenko with a big for OG. Eduardo Cavaminga as well. Conten, Talisio, Kylian Mbappe, and of course Antonio Griezmann, or words to that effect. Of course, Chazankanov getting a goal for Ukraine in a 7-1 demolition by the holders, of course. So yeah, pretty decent record against, of course, Ukraine. France, though, winning 8 of the last 9 matches in World Cup qualifying campaign, or World Cup as a whole. Heading into this, though, just 1 defeat of our 6 games for them. Their 1 defeat was against Finland in an international friendly in France, of course. As for Ukraine, 3 defeats on the spin, losing to Poland, Germany, and of course Switzerland, again for the most part in the Nations League. Look at the bookies odds on this one. I think France will be your stone cold favourites. 10-3 on the stone cold favourites. 50-4 is your draw. 8-1 is your long shots. That is Ukraine. Again, France should take this one, and I do anticipate winning the majority of their home games, and they'll kick off with a fantastic 3-0 win. Also out in Group D. Moving forward into Group E, we have Belgium taking, of course, Wales. Of course, difficult one for Wales to open up their campaign with one of the hotly tipped favourites for the World Cup. Played in the last 5 occasions, just 1 win for Belgium, 2 for Wales, and of course 2 draws. Last round in Belgium was a 0-0 draw back in 2014, and last time I'm pretty sure there was a 3-1 win for Wales, of course, back in the Euro qualifying campaign for 2016. Belgium, though, winning 10 last 11 matches in the World Cup, or World Cup qualifying as a whole. Belgium scored at least 2 goals in 9 last 11 as well. Coming into this, winning 4 on the spin across all competitions, beating Iceland in the Nations League and Switzerland in a friendly, as well as wins against England and Denmark in the Nations League. As for Wales, they're unbeaten in the last 5. Of course, Ryan Giggs is the manager, but he will not be in attendance for the 3 games over this international break. So yes, heading into this, though, the bookies odds on this one: Belgium 7-2 on for the victory, stone cold favourites. 4-1 is your 8-1 is your away win. That is Wales. I'm going to go with, of course, Belgium on this one, a 3-1 win at home, and maybe the Wales will get lucky with a goal. Next up, of course, we have Estonia up against Czech Republic in, of course, Group E as well, to make it a bit of a feisty one. Let's take a look at this one then. They've only played each other just the one time, according to my knowledge. That was back in 2004 in a friendly. It was a 2-0 win for the Czechs out in Czech Republic. Of course, Milan Baros blast from the past there with both of the goals. Heading into this, though, Estonia coming to this on the back of a 5-game or 6-game winless run, picking up 3 draws in that succession. Of course, most recently in the Nations League against Georgia, 0-0 draw. As for the Czechs, they're coming to this back-to-back wins, beating Israel and Slovakia, but unfortunately, I don't know if they did they win the Nations League group? I don't know. But yeah, hot and cold at the minute, Czech Republic. We don't know what kind of Czech Republic team will show up. They've got the makings of a decent side, and they will be in the Euros, and they'll be a difficult team to stop. But of course, they want to get themselves off to a fantastic start against Estonia in a must-win game, I think. 12-1 is your Estonia odds on this one. 4-1 is your draw. 92 on is your Czechs on this one. Of course, a win for the Czechs will get them off to a fantastic start and put them level on points with Belgium with the W. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for the Czechs on the road to give themselves, again, fantastic start. Kicking on forward, we go into group. What group is this? It's with Gibraltar. They're actually out in Group G. Of course, taking, of course, Norway, the golden generation, that's right. Ostergaard, Haaland, who else they've got? They've got some other players. Berger, I think, from is it Sander Berger from Sheffield United? He might be injured. There's another kick-ass midfielder out in AC Milan as well. They've got some really good players. Anyway, heading into this has been the first encounter that these two sides play each other, of course, taking place on Wednesday the 24th of March. Of course, Gibraltar's record in the last 5 has just been 1 win in the past 5. That one was against Liechtenstein, and that was on the road. However, they come into this on the back of a 2-game win, unbeaten run, drawing with San Marino and drawing with Liechtenstein. Just 1 defeat the past 4 for Gibraltar. That 1 defeat was against Bulgaria in a friendly on the road. Same can be said, though, for Norway. 1 defeat the past 4 for them. That was against Romania in the Nations League. 3-0 loss on the road. Gibraltar, though, have actually lost their last 10 matches in the FIFA World Cup or World Cup qualifying. They've also conceded at least 4 goals in the last 4 matches. I'm sure it'll be stone cold favourites for Norway. It is 70-1 long shots Gibraltar for the W. 70-1 is your draw. 33-1 on is your Norway on this badger. So they will be red hot favourites. I do expect them to score some goals. I'm going conservative with a 4-0 win, but it could be more. Next up, course, Latvia taking, of course, Montenegro also out in Group G. Let's get into this one then, shall we? Of course, Latvia, Montenegro. Played each other twice in recent times. Of course, nothing for Latvia. One draw and, of course, one win for Montenegro. That one win was in Montenegro back in 2012. It was a friendly. Stefan Jovetic on the score sheet. Philip Castaglia on the score sheet as well for Montenegro as they got themselves the win. Again, heading into this, just one defeat the past 6 games for Montenegro in all competitions. That was against Luxembourg, goodness gracious me, in the Nations League. Meanwhile, just one defeat the past 6 as well for Latvia. That was against Malta, also in the Nations League. A lot of draws knocking around between these two sides in their recent matches. Of course, heading into this one, what do we have on this one? Latvia coming in just 4-1 for the victory, 5-4 on Izzy Montenegro. They are your stone cold favourites, 21-10 is the draw. Difficult one, but I think Montenegro will get the edge. 2-0 win, 3 points in the bag, move the bloody chains. Next up, of course, Turkey taking, of course, the Dutchies, of course. It, of course, a powerhouse encounter out in Group G with the first match for them. Of course, played each other in recent times, the last 6, 1 for Turkey, 3 for the Netherlands, and 2 draws last time around in Turkey. Was, of course, back a 3-0 win back in the Euro qualifying campaign for 2016. Uzcan Uskupchuk on the score sheet with Arda Turan and Budik Yilmaz on the score sheet, of course, Turkey, as they took the 3 points in that encounter. And in fact, the last 2 games, in fact, there's been 1 win apiece the last 2 occasions over in Turkey. Netherlands picking up a win back in 2013. Netherlands, though, winning the last 3 matches in the World Cup or World Cup qualifying campaign. They've also scored at least 2 goals in those last 3 matches. They're coming to this unbeaten the last 5, picking up 2 wins back-to-back, beating Bosnia and Poland in the Nations League. As for Turkey, just 1 win and 6 for them. That one was against Russia, also in the Nations League. You look at the bookies' odds, and this one's a difficult one to call. 10-3 for Turkey, 11-8 on is your Netherlands. They are your favourites, 14-5 is your draw. I think this is the first time I'm going to go against the bookies. I'm going to go with a draw on this one, 2-2. Turkey with a point. I think the Netherlands, the Dutchies will be happy with that as they open up their campaign unbeaten and a point on the road. Next up, of course, Malta up against Russia. Played each other no times in the past, but heading into this, Malta losing the last 13 of the last 14 matches in the World Cup qualifying. They've also failed to score in 7 of the last 9. Also conceded at least 2 goals in 12 of the last 14 matches. They're coming into this, though, unbeaten the last 6 international matches, picking up 4 wins and 2 draws to boot, beating the likes of Andorra, Liechtenstein and Latvia in quick succession. As for Russia, they're coming to this without a win in 6 and back-to-back defeats for them, losing to Turkey and Serbia in the Nations League. I'm sure they'll still fancy the chances against one of the weaker opposition here. Malta coming to this, of course, 22-1 for the victory, 10-1 on is your Russia, 50-2 is the draw. I'm sure Russia will have this one 3-0 comfortably, 3 points in the bag and move the chains. Into the final 2 now, we have Slovenia up against Croatia again on the 24th of March. Again, get your picks in using the link above. It's also in the description. So yeah, last 4 between the two sides, nothing for Slovenia, 2 wins for Croatia. And 2 draws, of course. Last time around in Slovenia was a 3-2 win for Croatia. It was a friendly back in August 2008. Even Rakitic with a couple of goals there. Dario Srna as well from the penalty spot. Marko Zula and Milis Sisic on the goal scorers sheet for Slovenia. Of course, yes, that was a good 12 to 13 years ago, but I'm doing a fancy Croatia to get another win against these bad boys in the end. Heading into this, so Croatia without a win in 4, losing 3 of the past 4 games. The only positive was the draw against Turkey. It was a friendly, but they're coming to this on the back of back-to-back defeats in the Nations League, losing to Swindon and Portugal. Meanwhile, Slovenia coming to this unbeaten in the last 6, picking up 4 wins and 2 draws at the last 6 competitive or friendly games. Of course, heading into this one, the bookies odds, Slovenia 4-1 for the victory, 21-10 is your draw, 4-3 on is your Croatia. Stone cold bloody favourites offshore, and I think they'll get the win 2-0 with a clean sheet to boot. And wrapping up, it of course will be a Cyprus up against Slovakia. This is also out in Group H. Sorry, those past 2 games also in Group H. Kicking us off, of course, in Cyprus. Played to the last 4, 1 win for Cyprus, 3 for Slovakia. No draws. Last time around in Cyprus was a 3-2 win for Cyprus, and it was a friendly back in 2009. Gone away a bit. Christos Mangos, Manios Nicolaou, Yenis Oculus on the score sheet, of course. Jez, Eric Jedricks on the score sheet, of course, for Slovakia in a 3-2 win. Cyprus, though, losing the last 3 matches in World Cup qualifying. They're coming to this just 1 win in the past 6 games in all comps. That was against Luxembourg in Cyprus. Meanwhile, 1 win in the past 4 games for Slovakia. That was against Scotland in Slovakia. Bookies odds on this one then. What do we have on this? We have Cyprus 14-5 for the victory, 20-19 on is your Slovakia. Favourites, of course, 23-10 is your draw. Difficult one. Got to go with 2-1 win. Just the 1 goal in it to separate 2 sides, and Slovakia will take the W. Again, that's what I think will happen in this match day, match number 1.1. We'll be doing 1.1 tomorrow, of course, and if you want to take part in the prediction league, which is, there is going to be a prize at the end of it, just like all the other prediction leagues, maybe a t-shirt, maybe a gift card, I don't know, something like that. So if you want to take part, go into the link up there or in the description down below. That's the only way. What is it? What's the only way to get your vote in is to go through the links. That's right, no other way. But feel free to put your comments and opinions down in the comment section. We'll look at them, we'll review them and all that kind of stuff. Well, we're not really going to review them, but we'll have a look at them and it will let everyone else know what you're going in. What if I was you, I would go to the website, I'd put my picks in, and then I'll put my score lines in the bottom anyway, just to let everybody know. This is what I think. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today. Hopefully you enjoy the video. What have I got after this? That's right. Oh, and there's another way. Here's a bloody another way. If you're watching this on a bigger screen and you have your mobile phone handy, you can take a QR code pick and it'll send you right to the place where you can go put your vote in. Look at that. How tech savvy am I? I'm on the ball. That's right. Of course, be sure to get your picks in nice and early for this one. And we'll do it all again tomorrow for 1.1, 1.2. And then on conclusion of match day number ones, we'll revisit those, your picks, have a leaderboard and all that kind of stuff. And then we'll kick it on for match day number 2. That's all I've got for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe. We'll do it all again very, very soon. Until then, though, let's get this party started. I'm off to Qatar, baby, 2022. Will your country be there with me? I don't know. We'll take a little look tomorrow or beyond. Until then, I'm out.